Okay, so when you hear the word mistletoe, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably something about the holidays, right? But for a lot of people, the other word that comes to mind is parasite, something that just takes and takes. Well, today we're going to dive into the world of African mistletoe, and I promise you it's going to completely flip the script on what you thought you knew. It has a secret life that is absolutely vital. I know, it's a weird question. We're pretty much taught that parasites are the villains of the natural world, the bad guys. But what if one of them wasn't a villain at all? What if it was actually the hero, the central character holding its entire world together? Well, that's exactly the question we're going to explore. And just take a look at this. This image shows you exactly what we're talking about. You see that mistletoe? It's sitting right at the heart of this incredibly complex web of life. Yeah, sure, it's connected to its host tree, but that's just the beginning. It's also interacting with animals that eat it, pollinators, birds that spread its seeds, even tiny microorganisms down in the soil. It's a whole hidden world tucked away in the branches of a tree. So to really understand this secret life, we have to get its identity right, because calling it a simple parasite, well, that's not even close to the whole story. Okay, here's our key word, hemiparasite. Hemi just means half. So unlike a full-on parasite, mistletoe isn't a total freeloader. See its green leaves? That means it can do photosynthesis. It makes its own energy from sunlight, just like most other plants. What it's really doing is tapping into the host tree mostly for water and minerals. It's working to support itself too. So how does it pull this off? It uses this really cool specialized tool called a hostorium, which basically plugs right into the tree's plumbing. And get this, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Depending on the species, it uses all these different methods. It can form these incredible structures called wood roses or send out roots that creep right along the bark. It's actually a super sophisticated piece of natural engineering. But you know, that physical connection is really just the beginning of the story, because from that single point, the mistletoe builds something amazing. It becomes this bustling central hub for all kinds of life. And this, right here, is the big twist. This is where everything changes. Because while it's sipping water and nutrients from the host, the mistletoe is busy creating and giving out a ton of different resources to the whole neighborhood. Seriously, it's like a full-service rest stop high up in the canopy. Its leaves, food for everyone from tiny insects to elephants. Its flowers, a nectar bar for pollinators. The dense, tangled branches are the absolute perfect, safe place for birds to build their nests. And the fruits are a super important food source. Even when its leaves fall off, they enrich the soil down below. It's a whole cycle. So the next time you see a clump of mistletoe, don't just see a parasite. Try to see what's really there. A miniature ecosystem. It's the local grocery store, a nursery, and a hotel, all in one. It's an incredible plant that we have totally misunderstood. Now, the story doesn't even stop there. This web of connections that the mistletoe creates actually extends all the way to us, to human culture, and in some really beautiful and unexpected ways. So remember those birds we mentioned, the ones that eat the sticky fruit and help spread the mistletoe seeds? They're essential partners for the plant. Well, it turns out these very same birds are also essential partners in human art and storytelling. They're like a bridge between the natural world and ours. You know, a line from the source material really just nails this idea perfectly. Birds aren't just seen as part of the scenery. They become these powerful symbols that help people express their deepest ideas about beauty, power, and the world itself. And here is a fantastic, specific example of that. Meet the Knightsnot turrico. Some people also call it the Knightsnalori. This bird is just stunning, and it happens to be one of the fruit eaters that helps the mistletoe spread. I mean, just look at those vibrant colors. They're so striking that they've actually inspired designs in traditional South African pottery. So the very same bird that helps ensure the future of the mistletoe is also inspiring human creativity. How cool is that? So, let's bring this all home. We started out with a plant that most people would call a pest, maybe a freeloader, but what do we find out? We've discovered a true unsung hero of the African forest. You know, in ecology, there's a special name for something this important, a keystone species. It's like the keystone in an old stone archway. You know, that one stone at the very top? If you pull that one stone out, the whole arch collapses. That is exactly what African mistletoe is for its community. It's not just living in the ecosystem, it's actively building it. You could call it an ecosystem engineer. By providing all these critical resources, it creates opportunities for so many other species to thrive. It literally holds its community together. In every sense of the word, it's the hero of its own story. And that leaves us with one final thought. The mistletoe was hiding there in plain sight the whole time. It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other misunderstood plants or animals are out there quietly playing a heroic role in the world around us, just waiting for us to see them in a new light?